Hey everyone, how's it going? So in this video, we're just going to be checking out all the new changes and from the live stream from Ubisoft at that happened. It's basically going to be recapping everything and just my live reaction of everything that's new. So hope you guys do enjoy it. New stage video will be coming out soon. I already started editing on it, so yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video.
Keep it locked and loaded,
right, here we
because
go.
this is High Caliber. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and I'll be your host for the full reveal. We're about to break it all down, but first, a quick glimpse at what's to come courtesy of Chris Waters and Ubisoft News.
All it takes is one look at the new season coming to Rainbow Six Siege to tell you that High Caliber is here to make an impact. Thorn joins the defenders, armed with a dangerous new gadget to send attackers scrambling. And a deadly new weapon to greet them when they do. In addition to the new HUD you're seeing right now, renovations are complete on the OUTBACK map. Plus, player protection updates, balancing changes, and more. It's all coming up right now.
Op 4, last stop standing.
Now, I know what you were thinking. What was that weapon in Thorn's hand? How deadly is that gadget? And how exactly does one earn the nickname Thorn? These are all good questions.
I don't like the first, so I don't really care about the third one.
Here's game designer Dominic Clement and writer Simon Ducharme.
Thorn's gadget is called the Razor Bloom shell. It's a sticky device that you can throw pretty much everywhere on the map, and it's going to stick on pretty much any surfaces. It's a device that once an attacker walks within the activation radius, will trigger a time detonation. During that timer, the attacker will be forced to make a decision to either keep pushing, fall back, or try to find it and destroy it.
Well, boys, we already found a way to
on the idea
around that gadget.
Trap operator, a trap gadget. A lot of the gadget that we have right now that are trap are pretty, I'd say, binary. So either you walk into them and you get the effect, or you don't. So with this gadget, we wanted to kind of see what happens if you give the players a bit more time to react, and you give them a couple options. Imagine you have the device that is stuck on the doorway, and you're an attacker and you're ready to push the doorway, and as you cross the doorway, you activate the device. You have really 4 options that you can really do. The first one is you keep pushing, which is risky because hopefully you know that there's nobody playing around the gadget to
because that gadget can blow your
second option
brains
is to fall back.
out.
Obviously, you're safe, but you've given away your position. And the third option is that if you're fast, you can try to locate it and destroy it before it detonates. And the fourth option, which is, you accept your fate and you stay there and you take the full damage, which is hopefully not your best option. With this device, it really creates this panic moment, this moment where you really need to make a decision. You hope that it's the right decision. So when it comes to designing the look of the device, it's something that starts very early and very engineered, very high-tech, to get away from something that's maybe a bit more handmade. So Thorn's loadout is quite unique because we're introducing a brand new weapon, the
new weapon.
If you don't recognize the name, it's normal because it's completely custom made here in-house by our team. It's a small SMG, but don't get fooled by the small size of the weapon because it really packs a punch. It's chambered in 50 cal, so it really hits hard. It's a low fire rate, but it can really deal some damage. It will create quite a lot of destruction. And so you can use it to really play vertically and make holes in walls. It's really useful in that way. The other primary weapon is the M870, which is a shotgun that you can see on operators like Jaeger. In terms of secondary weapon, you have the 1911 TAC-UPS, and she also has the C75 Auto. In terms of secondary gadget, she has the shield and a barbed wire. The shield is actually something that was recommended by us from pro players during a pro workshop. They felt it was very good to synergize with the gadget of the operator, and we agreed and we kept it, and it's a very useful tool. And barbed wires are very useful to slow down the enemy. So if they get caught in the device and their barbed wire, they're going to have a hard time walking away from it.
Why wouldn't he just
Thorn's going to be mainly playing as an anchor. She's very useful close to choke points. You want to have Thorn playing around her gadget because that's where she's the most deadly, and she's going to be super useful to slow down the attack. Where Thorn shines is where you play with your gadget. When they trigger it, they're going to be panicking. They're going to be running away, running forward. So it's the ideal moment to really utilize this confusion and this panic. What works really well with Thorn is operators like Clash, Lucy, Legion, these types of operators that really help you slow down the attackers. Clash can actually, bait the attackers into the device and then use her electric shock to slow down the attackers and kind of get them stuck into the danger zone. The main counters for Thorns is your classic anti-utility operators. So you have Thatcher, and you also have Twitch and Zero, which can use their cameras and drones to locate the device and destroy it with their lasers. IQ, obviously, super useful to spot the device and tell your teammates that, oh, there's a razor boom shell on that doorway or in that area of the map.
I'm pretty sure
you can also counter the razor boom shell with explosives. So you can blow the razor boom shell up, you can shoot them, and if you're very courageous, you can also melee it, but I don't recommend this option.
Thorn's real name is Brianna Skean. She's from a part of Ireland that's known for horse breeding and military training.
Hi Calibre is taking us back to the Outback, and Jeremy Dowsett is here to talk about the map rework in detail. As long as they didn't remove the shark, it's fine by me.
Yeah, the shark is the only thing that matters. Can we get back up on the shark? Can we do that now? Oh, they
Outback's a relatively new map. There were problems with it, despite doing our due diligence. People found it hard to navigate. Anchoring on the sites was actually quite hard. And we want the map to go into Pro League, into Ranked, and we want it to be competitive.
Oh yeah, so finally, a new Ranked
to go
map.
Through and actually look at the problems, talk to the pro players and talk to the community and see.
Oh wow, they really reworked that one. They got rid of that doorway.
It's Outback version 2. It's much better.
They extended the hallway a bit.
The outside was a little bit cluttered, and people seemed to have a problem orientating themselves towards where the bomb site was when once you've droned and actually found it. So we've gone through and addressed those issues.
I like how they did that. They made the whole thing a balcony
and made sure the navigation and flow on the inside is actually much
extended that room a bit.
Sam and Maddie worked really hard on the garage because it was a less picked bomb site for Office, and it was always a choke
no one
point.
would go to the garage.
To play, and you always ended up playing
open.
Really off-site. So all of the changes, making it smaller and changing the windows, adding cover, and just making that area much cleaner has helped the map massively. Pirate Room and Office is now much easier to defend. We've added an exterior breakable wall and office supply, which really aids the ebb and flow of the attack and defense on that site. There was a major change in restaurant where we've split the rooms into 2 between Shark, which actually aids the navigation and flow because it's easier. It was a large open area, and making it a little bit smaller and a bit more comfortable has actually made it an awful lot more fun and a lot more fun to navigate in, especially if you're attacking. Obviously in the original map, Open Terrace was open and it was exterior. Now it's interior and it actually connects piano and resto. So what you've got now is when you come up the stairs towards Terrace, where it used to be, obviously it's enclosed, there's a double door that's barricaded, and it makes for an interesting
They could keep reworking these maps all they want. We just need a new map though.
Upstairs onto the second floor, but it's also
when it comes down to the overall,
because you hide your drone in Terrace and you can get a few sneaky lines of sight and you can see where people are setting up their defenses. So now it's actually a massive improvement to that area. So the motel rooms have been cleaned up. There was a lot of props, so it's actually been cleaned up. The closet's moved, and the bathroom is also an awful lot cleaner now. It was a little bit messy, and it was hard to see. It's a much
They got some people working on cleaning up the
washroom.
washroom.
So Dom's Laundry has gone to laundry piano. Even though it's a relatively small change, it hasn't moved massively. It means it's easier to defend. The roamers have an easier time because it's easier to navigate for the flow. So it's actually made the site an awful lot more fun. There's always a few choke points into that thing, and people will just anchor in the corner and just spray the walls. So cleaning it up and actually moving the site has improved that area massively. With the windows being moved, tweaked, and we have removed quite a few windows from the map, it actually is an awful lot more comfortable. You can anchor on the bomb sites. You can roam much easier as well. going through and fixing these problems one by one, and as the map gets better and better and better, the play sessions get more and more fun. That's always the best thing to see, is when everyone's having fun, because if we're having fun, I know the community's gonna have fun.
That's not necessarily true, but okay.
Next up, we're checking in with David Perpignan from Ubisoft Barcelona to talk about some balancing updates, including impactful changes to Finca's Adrenal Surge.
Currently, we have a wide variety holding on the camera with a connecting screen, and when the deployment is finished, you have instant access to the camera feed.
Okay.
In the current implementation, Finca can help other teammates to stand up from down but not out, but she cannot help herself. So we think this is something that we need to change. If she has available charges, she can trigger the ability and she will stand up.
And they also changed it to red?
Okay, how many of you have filed a report on R6Fix? Played the test server? If you have, your contributions have been invaluable to the team, and there are some big improvements coming. For more, here's test server associate producer Deanna Stanley.
R6 test server. Okay, let's check the test server. Let's see test server.
So the current system of R6Fix, it's a...
When you hear the Siege team use the phrase quality of life, what comes to mind? For high caliber, it means a HUD that's more accessible and contains more information. And it means better player protections, whether you're live streaming or just playing with your squad. Maxime Daigle and Anne-Sophie Pelletier are here to tell you more.
Let's see this. Quality of life. All right, let's see this.
The current HUD has a few issues, one of which is that the game has changed a lot in the past few years. Unfortunately, the HUD remained pretty much the same. We've also looked at the future operators and the ambitions of the team, and there's a real need for a reshuffle of information we're showing. You might not know this, but Siege's UI is based on Flash. And internally, we created a new tool called Phoenix. Basically, is faster, it's easier to work with, more future-proof. It's the perfect time for a rework of the HUD. And now, at a glance, you can get a quick impression of what your inventory is consisted of. You don't have to switch to your gadget, say, to see if you have a certain ammo type equipped. For example, Zofia or Capital. We've also streamlined the way we represent resources. For example, Cavera
I like that.
and Warden.
I like that change.
It's a bar that depletes and refills over time.
That's not awful.
They're shown
that's decent. I actually like that.
We also separated cooldowns from resources. For example, Clash has both. She has a resource
only thing I'm worried
for
about
electricity, but
is
also
that,
the cooldown.
see, it's orange
in
over
between
here,
the shots that
but it was
she
red.
can fire.
That's what I'm worried about. What the
removed
hell?
all the text in favor of icons, so we're way more specific in the icons. So if you're deploying an ADS, now the icon will show an ADS being deployed. If you're picking up a frost mat, that's the icon you will see. Last but definitely not least is the compass. It's now central to the HUD. Now the compass, for whatever's in front of you, is divided into three parts. You have what's above you, what's on the same level as you are, and what's under you. We've also added a ton of new world markers into the compass. So before you only had the yellow
compass,
but now you have the marked positions.
But it's Siege, it's all one map. You're not going to be like a call out in Fortnite going northwest,
also added
or
a new module.
He's on the east side, or
location reminder.
You can kind of call out, oh, he's on the left, he's on the right. I don't know. I just don't think it's a useful
better
change.
callouts. We've added a ton of new customization options. I suggest that you visit the new options menu. We've added a new tab for the HUD.
I'll change it off.
From there, you can customize your HUD more than ever. And we're looking into ever adding more options, so eventually scaling and maybe move things around.
Player protection is our top priority, so we want to do it well. This is why we were taking our time with this feature. Our content creators are extremely important for the success of Rainbow. So we are in discussion with them to make sure that we are offering something that is tailored to their needs. However, we want to protect all players. So we will allow everyone to use an alter ego in the game that they can change in between matches so that they can have more privacy. Paired with a bunch of new settings that come with them, we are hoping to alleviate the risk of being targeted negatively in game. At first, we will release the feature to a small pool of content creators.
Okay,
we will stress test the feature, make sure that there's no bugs, make sure there's no exploit, and once we're ready, we will release it to the rest of the population. We realized that there is also a broader need of security at the account level for our players. So we reached out to our colleagues in charge of account at Ubisoft.
Yeah, OUTBACK got a rework. Wow, I'm sorry, I missed like half of this.
Security
and we're joking about OUTBACK getting a rework.
We are extremely excited to let our players try the new privacy settings in the near future.
We're moving away from the static team colors. So from now on, in the accessibility tab, you can customize them.
Your
meaning
team?
That if you want to set your allies team to be red, and if you want to set your enemies team to be orange, you can do so now. We know that the color selection for now is not so great for our colorblind players, but we're willing to make this compromise for now, knowing that we're going to be adding a ton of new color options in the future. Gadgets in the world are eventually going to be showing the alliance. What that means is if we're throwing a C4, the light on the C4 will reflect if it's an enemy or an allied gadget.
That's pretty good.
We're looking at the Claymore currently and also the barbed wire. Eventually, we're looking at adding more and more game objects that will reflect the colors that you chose in the accessibility options.
At the Crystal Guard reveal, you met production coordinator Matt Daigle, who introduced you to the first stage of Elite Skin customization.
Okay.
Well, he's back, and he's got some good news.
Hey, it's me again. Firstly, thank you so much for all your Elite 2.0 combinations. It's been a blast watching social media explode with all the awesome and unique creations. So as we teased in the previous season with customizable headgears and uniforms, I'm excited to announce that this season we're fully ready to release the Elite 2.0 complete package. You'll be able to customize between your ability skins, your victory dances, and your customizable op cards.
That's cool.
I'm also excited to announce that we'll be releasing a brand new MTX category, the Exotic Weapon Skins. The animated weapon skins will arrive for Season 4. Here's a sneak peek of what it will look like.
Whoa!
Our new Exotic MTX category will open the door to tons of brand new possibilities in the future.
Valorant!
The show is almost over, which means it's time to tell you when the test server is going live.
Come on.
It's tomorrow.
Let's go!
It's usually the day after these reveals. You know how it works. In addition to the updates we've talked about thus far, the High Calibre test server will also include the bulletproof camera rework and the HUD drone counter. These changes debuted in Year 6 Season 2 test server, and they are scheduled to go live this season. Experience all these exciting changes for yourself in the High Calibre test server starting tomorrow.